Hi, my name is Ariel Brown, and I'm coming to you guys because I feel the need to speak out against a disease that is causing great harm to a lot of people, and it needs to be stopped. It needs to be dealt with. And, it's really unnecessary that people have to be attacked by this disease. People have died from this disease. And sadly, it's a disease that has started in the minds of people, and the disease is hatred, better known as white supremacy. I want to start out by saying, first of all, I am not a racist, but I am a realist, and when I speak about race and hatred and the atrocities done under the illusion of white supremacy, I in no way blame all whites, but there are a lot that are accountable, that play a part. And in this format, in my format, I want to ask you to, like, subscribe, comment, share my video with as many people as you feel, you may, that may, pique someone else's interest. My format is primarily going to be based on a lot of different topics, but today I'm just talking about the disease of white supremacy and the fact that it must be stopped. And the only way that it's going to be stopped and be dealt with properly is that the people that are being attacked by this gruesome disease, that's all based on the illusion and lies of fearful white people. And it's been going on for so long, over 400 years for African Americans, and then anyone else that comes into their circumference. And I want to say right off the bat, I do not say that all white people are racist. I do not believe that all white people want to see people of color suffer. People of, I call us POC, people of color. I don't think that all of them want to see us suffer. I do know that there are some good white people, and there's not very many I've met over my lifetime, and I've looked, but there are some good white people. So I'm not a racist. I am a realist, and there's a lot to be said about the pain of the people that subscribe to white supremacy, this illusion, this lie, this cancer, this disease. And as I said earlier, it must be dealt with. And the only way that it can be dealt with is from us, people that, melanated people, and from some whites. See, I'm gonna tell you like this right here. And when I was a young man, I liked to read. But when I was, before I even reached my teenage years, I read about this guy named John Brown. And this guy, John Brown, impressed me way back then at the age of 11 because of his commitment to fairness and humanity. You know, he did not believe in white supremacy. He didn't subscribe to it. He didn't. Matter of fact, he fought against it and killed other whites. He raised his sons to be abolitionists. You know, true and through. You know, wholeheartedly, and he led the battle most of his life, fighting against white supremacy. And this guy not only raised his first set of kids, which was, I think it was about 4 or 5 kids from his first wife. Then he had another 12 kids from his second wife. It was a large number, a big number. You know, the numbers may not be exact, but believe me, he had about 16 kids altogether. And all of them were against slavery and died in the fight against slavery. And he slaughtered a lot of people. And they called him crazy. They called him crazy. You know, when I thought about it, I said, yeah, I guess, you know, if I was a white person and I was fighting against other white people who have for hundreds of years found all kind of ways and tricks to and just heinous, you know, acts to suppress and depress people of color, Africans, you know, and have them under my power. I guess I would be called crazy if I was trying to fight against other whites who have made life so easy for whites by discriminating and enslaving Africans. You know, so I guess, you know, when you say crazy, it's up for a discussion. It's all about your perspective. To me, the man was, in some ways, you know, he was a realist, and like I said, a true humanitarian. But right now, today, what we're facing today, especially since the Trump administration, you know, this dude came in and just dumped all kind of, you know, racial division amongst the country, you know, and as he came in just like a bad disease, like a bad cold. I mean, it's like he was COVID before COVID showed up, you know. And when it came to the spirit and the soul of this country, you know, people trying hard to come together, you know, and he came and just bust that thing right up. You know what I'm saying? He took the sheets right off of all of them. You know, we found out, you know, that some of our friends that we used to be really close with, after Trump got in there, his first 2 or 3 years, we started looking at each other like, you know, with some concerned thoughts. Come to find out, hey, some of them went right behind that curtain and voted for him, knowing that he was a racist, knowing that he was a liar, knowing that the man was a schemer, you know, a wannabe gangster and all that stuff. So, you know, and then come right back out and smile right back in our faces, you know, but all the time, you know, hoping that his agenda would push through, you know, and which meant that, you know, they really didn't give a damn about my welfare, your welfare, you know, and they didn't even want to discuss politics. And if they did, a lot of them said, you know, called him all kind of crazy kooks and quacks and everything, but they voted for his ass though, you know. But like right now, you know, the way I see the country, it's a shame how, you know, we look at January 6th, you know, where these people really show their true colors. These are the white supremacists. And as I said, I don't hate white people. I teach my kids not to hate white people. I teach them to understand, though, that there are a lot of white people that don't give a damn about you and that will smile in your face and will tell you all kind of things to make you feel as though they're your friend. But in reality, they're looking for their advantage, and they want to keep their advantage over, the poor or whatever. And a lot of them are poor, but they're under the illusion that they're better than us just because of their color, and that's the thing. That's, we talk about the illusion of white supremacy, but when you get right down to it, even the illusion of calling themselves white is an illusion. In Africa, you got people that are literally black people. I mean, you can get a black sheet of paper, put it up against their face, and you will see that their color is just as black as the paper. And that's a beautiful thing. Beautiful black, deep melanated complexion. Smooth. My father was one, very dark, very dark. I have children that very dark, and their skin is so beautiful, but I have not seen, out of all of my life, I have not seen, unless it was painted in a picture, of any white person truly being as white as a white sheet of paper. I'm talking about a true white piece of paper. So their skin is not even white. It's an illusion. That's what I'm saying. It's more of the pigment of a pinkish pale. No matter how cold they get, it is not white. You could put a white sheet of paper up against it. We are so brainwashed into calling them white and looking in our minds to find the white, and we sometimes tell ourselves that they're white, but they're not. And I mean, I guess, for some of us, that's neither here nor there. However, it is real. It's sad, though, that after the hard work that African Americans have put into this country, building the foundation, the economic prowess of this here country, you name any industry, any aspect of greatness in this country, and it was African Americans that helped, with inventions in medicine, and you name it, all the sciences. It's not just sports, it's not just entertainment, even though whatever we touch, we take it to anyone else's greatest level, and then we surpass it to a point of it cannot be touched again. It cannot be surmounted once we get rid of it. We bring the greatness out of anything that we touch. And that's not, me being a reverse racist or anything like that there, looking down on anyone else. It's just a fact, But we're not looked with the appreciation and the respect, We've been dogged so much that we lived through this stuff here. But now today we see, over the last 20 years, the racism against Muslims. And some of our ignorant brothers and sisters, go right along with it just because someone is of a different religion. We look down on them, which is really, sad. What I'm saying? We should know better. But anyway, and now today, not to mention even the Native American, how they've been so abused even before we've been here for thousands of years. Let me make that clear. We've been here for thousands of years before Columbus stumbled his drunk behind over here and brought with him all kind of diseases and trickery or whatever, and just outright evil. However, the Native Americans suffered under this white supremacy thing as well, for hundreds of years or so, whatever. But it's like, and you would think that after a while that, this kind of hatred would at some point exhaust itself. But not with these here, these white so-called, these people living under the illusion of white supremacy, because it's not white supremacy, it's an illusion. It's a disease. It's a mental disease at that. It's a spiritual disease. It's a spiritless disease. And it's like we watch these people, just out of nowhere. You can have a beautiful function going on, and out of nowhere, you hear a racial slur or some kind of injection of some kind of derogatory statement made about blacks or Latinos or Native, you name it. You know what I'm saying? They even turn on their own kind, Jews and different things. You know what I'm saying? All of these people are, they it's just like it's a hatred that's hungry, with a unending thirst, for blood, or just to cause havoc. You know what I mean? Now, my point is this here, though, that the way things are standing right now in this country, that if blacks, Latinos, if everyone, Asians, Native Americans, Native Americans, come on off of the reservations, brothers and sisters, and get with everyone else. Asians, now you're being attacked, and it's time that you realize he been watching you too. You can sit as quiet as you want to, but it's out there now, and they coming at you. And so I believe these are times of truth, and we are going through a type of threshold, which means going from one place in time into another place in time, where change is going to happen. And it's going to be, change usually comes on the threshold with violence of some sort. And it's sad because it doesn't have to be a violent, and I'm not just talking about guns and all this kind of stuff here. I'm talking about we're already in the threshold right now. Trump really just opened the door all the way on it. We had it cracked, little here, a little bit there. The police officers, murdering us and everything. It's like they, seem to think that we are really that stupid that it's just coincidence that it's a white officer that always shoots a black child or a black man or a black woman. Nobody else. It's not Jews that's getting shot. It's not, rarely anybody else. Just blacks. So but now that this dude is this white supremacist so-called person is they're like a wild dog now. And it must be stopped. And the only way that they're going to be stopped is if we come together. I'm gonna tell you like this here. In the election, 2020 election, there's a lot of us that don't believe in voting and stuff like that there. For those who doubt voting, I hear a lot of people talk about, I don't vote because my vote ain't going to do nothing, and they going to do what they want to do. That's what we said before Trump got up in there. A lack of our participation caused him to get up in that seat. But I tell you what, after all the pain that we went through, them 4 years, people that did not vote came out and vote and caused him to have to leave up out of that seat. So if there is any proof that voting does help and voting matters, that was a good point, positive. As they say, point blank. It proved that voting does help. And I tell you this here, for those that don't believe in voting, if it did not matter, if voting really did not matter, and that they can do what they want to do, why do they try so hard to keep us disenfranchised? Whereas that they cut the hours from voting in some states. Whereas that it's cut off at 5 o'clock when most people are getting off of work at 5 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? They cut back on how many different satellite voting offices around the counties and stuff. You know, if it did not matter, they would not raise a finger, an eyebrow to stop us. We have power. That's right. We have power, but we don't use our power. Some of us still have, and it's not just African Americans with this mentality, this laid back, lazy idea that it's just going to work itself out. As I said, this is a time of truth. If you want a better life, you better act like it. If you want a better life, you better be willing to get up, get out, and do something. You know, and voting is something that it's changed the world. If it wasn't for voting, see, when blacks were suffering back in the 60s, there was blacks that said, I don't know, my vote, I ain't about to go down there and mess with them people. Them people gonna do what they want to do. You know, that's stupidness, man. And you know what? It was because people got sick and tired of the pain with the police officers coming to the neighborhood, smacking them around with the blackjacks and the billy clubs and the gun butts, you know, hitting them in the head, bam, you know, and just walking all over them, you know, spit on you and disrespect your woman and all kind of stuff. Then people began to understand, see, you know, your feelings get hurt. They say pain is a motivator. And I truly believe that, you know. We're in a time where we got to do something different, you know. We have to pull together, and that means every spectrum of every color spectrum, you know, amongst the people, whether they're, you know, Latino, Asian, African American, it doesn't matter what kind, you know, where you come from. If you here in America, you know, it ain't about you. Yeah, we built this here, but you're here. And we're all together, and we're all suffering. Understand this here. The white man, and again, I'm not saying all white men are like this here, but let's just face it though, the ones who carry white supremacy and have benefited from white supremacy are the ones who are the whites, the white men. You understand? And even though those, you know, that may not believe in white supremacy or give power to white supremacy, they still benefit from it. But let me say this here though, that it is due to the fact that we do not come together to fight against white supremacy. It will continue to go on. And right now, voting, other than us pulling out, you know, the guns and all that kind of stuff, then going to war, which, come on, that's going to be just one great big mess. We don't need to go there. You know, and I really believe it's the God inside of us that needs to be activated, you know, in these times here. It's not, you know, the pump shotgun. Don't get me wrong. I love the brothers and sisters that's out there that's ready, you understand, to handle this thing on whatever level. But I think the real change is going to come when we come together with the determination to not take no for an answer, and to boldly go for what we deserve. That goes for each and every one of us, and that also includes the whites that are down with us, that believe that white supremacy is a bad disease, a lie, and it must die. There are some out there, you know. Me, I come from the school. You got to prove it to me, though. You can't just tell me you down with this here. Show me. You understand? I need to see some blood, sweat, and tears, some sacrifice. Let me see like a John Brown. That's what I'm talking about. Sacrifice yourself like John Brown for me to believe you. Let me know it's just more than words, But however, us all coming together, we can destroy white supremacy. We can do it from the simplest form of battle, which is voting, standing in line. Hey, bring your cool drink or your warm drink, whatever it's got to be. You understand? And have somebody with a backup. You understand? But get in that line and get in there and vote. And some places look. In some places up in the north, it don't take us but a few minutes to run in and run right back out. And some of us still find it hard. You know what I mean? But this is something that's a must. It's a must. We must we must be offensive when it comes to white supremacy. We cannot cow down and just wait to see what's next on their agenda. Sometimes you got to go up to the bully and smack the taste right out of his mouth and let him know, get up, let's go some more. You really want this here? You really want to play this thing out? Let me see where your heart really is at. Let's do this. Sometimes you got to take it there. Whether it's I'm speaking to, literally as well as metaphorically. I'm saying? Hopefully it can be just metaphorically. But we gotta that vote that we do, that's just like putting a bullet in the gun and taking it. You got one shot. One shot. You better make it, hit the target, which is against. Because when you don't vote, you're voting for the other team. You're allowing, it's just like when you playing basketball or whatever, you letting your man go free to make the basket. You standing there and he done went around you, and now he gonna score. You understand? And believe me, they gonna score. Because right now the Republican Party they're at an all-time low. They are so afraid that they are losing people, and it's because of the arrogance and the stubbornness that this white man has. Understand this here. I'm talking about the racist white man. And again, for the last time, I'm not talking about all white people. All white people are not racist. All white people are not evil people. All white people don't want to see black people suffer, or any people of color. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about those that do, right? And I'm just saying this right here. That same racist white man, he's discriminated against every single person walking this earth, including the white woman. Yeah. And it was a time where he wouldn't discriminate much against his own kind, long as he was a white man. But now they even discriminate against the poor white man. You understand? So there are people, and like right now, the Republican Party is become the team of white supremacy. They really believe that if they continue to forge on down this road, that it's just going to magically turn back into the good old days. And and if you look at it, these white men have no shame whatsoever. They lie right to our faces. Matter of fact, they have constituents that put them in office, and then their constituents may want to see, some kind of civility in the politicians that they send to Washington or whatever to look out for the people or whatever. And these politicians go there and they vote what they want, and because they're in the office now, they vote for what they want, and then later they play it off with their constituents that it's more of the constituents that want what they're voting for, and in other words, they're just lying, and it's a shame because politics have always been a cesspool of liars and schemers and different things like that. But we're in a whole nother realm now when it comes to the just no bottom to the things to the lengths that they'll go to hold us back. To hold, when I say us, I'm talking about all people of color. All people of color. You know, these people know, it's a known fact, that the white race is thinning out. In this country, there was a time where there was more whites here than anyone else, but more and more that is becoming, the numbers are changing, you know, and that's not our fault, actually, because that's the way it is in the world. You know, there's more people of color throughout the entire planet, you know, than there are white people. And but when you look on TV and you look all over the place, you see them all over the place. You get the impression that they're all, you know, there's so many of them, but it's not. But I'm gonna say this also: the way that things are going, as far as there are people thinning out and more people of color are rising up and growing and not just surviving but thriving and demand to do so. You know, that's by divine order. We had no hand in this here thinning out of white people, because believe me, if some of us had it our way, they'd have been gone a long time ago. I'm talking about the racist ones, you know, because we can live along with anybody. Black people are the most forgiving people on the planet. We foolishly sometimes forgive, forget, and love our enemies, you know. We've been well taught. Some of us, you know, I call us well-trained slaves. You know, some of us have been very well trained, and we have studied the books and the doctrines and, you know, whatever these people have told us over the years, just long as we can get us enough, you know, just a few more crumbs or a few more pats on the head, you know, and that's just fact, you know. But we're at a place now, well, you know, with that old saying, you either do or die. You know, if we don't get up and get ready for this battle on any level, by any means necessary, if we do not come together and get our plan together and start working, not just in the streets out here, but working in the levels, in the branches of legislation, you know, of the judicial system, you know, as well as in the executive branch. You know, we deserve a place everywhere in every aspect of the laws of this here country, you know, and that goes for everyone. That goes for everyone. This is so-called richest country on the planet. We all should be living very well. I don't need to be rich to be comfortable. I don't need to have millions to be happy. You understand? I mean, but every individual deserves to be able to make a true living wage. And if they're spending their money correctly, able to pay their bills, save their money, drive what they want to drive, you know, within reason. You know, I mean, you can't get no damn Rolls Royce working at Burger King or someplace like that there unless you own one. Excuse me. But every individual deserves a true living wage, as well as being able to go on a vacation, you know, once, twice a year. Every individual, you know. On this planet right now, there's a whole lot of love, but it's being, just like in this country, it's being overshadowed by evil. And it's a shame. How is it that the evil ones make it to the top? How is it that the evil ones are the ones in charge, right? I tell you one thought. It's because those of us with a heart and with the spirit have been lazy about taking the battle to them. You know, some of us really believe in that turn the cheek and whatever. You know, to me, that with some people, with some bullies, like these white supremacists, bunch of bullies. They run in packs. They got a few lone wolves out there that are, you know, that's extreme or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But all of them are mentally demented, you know. But my point is that, you know, we have to take on this here battle head on and you know, dismantle it, you know, with truth and bold truth, you know, not say what's going on and tell it like it is and wait for the to see what their response is. We already know what their response is. We have to forge our way into the future. And you know, they got on TV all of this craziness, you know, people going around shooting on, you know, innocent people. You know, this is not something that people of color do on a regular. This is not what they do. But like, it's hard to ignore the fact that when you watch a lot of these racist people, their mind, they turn on themselves. They, you know, it's like they turn on themselves first of all by feeding themselves crazy thoughts about someone's out to get them, someone out to hurt them. And then think about it, they're the first one to always talk about their freedom. Give us our freedom. You're trying to take away our freedoms. They're the main people on the planet, always have been taking away the freedoms of everyone else. Everyone else. You know, I mean everyone, including the white woman. You know, it only been in the last 100 years, maybe less than that, but in the last 100 years that white women have been able to vote. Black women just started being able to vote since the last 80 years, something like that. There since the 60s. A lot of us, they didn't even want us voting back then in the 60s. You know what I mean? So it's not that long ago. And some of them feel like if they can bend us down, if they can, you know, knock us down just hard enough, if they just stay true to their lies. You know, some people willing to die with the lie. You understand? Go to hell with the lie. They don't care. You know, if they just hang in there, that they can somehow, excuse me, that they could somehow turn back the hands of time. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Because I know damn well I am not going to be going backwards. You know? I'm like James Brown. I'd rather die on my feet than to be living on my knees. No, I'm not going that way. You know what I'm saying? As far as us as a people, you know, we have to put it in our mindset that we have to elevate ourselves. We have to elevate our minds and our actions to doing some things differently. You know, we have to become more political. There have been some major steps made. You know what I'm saying? You know, we know, on Barack, we put Barack up in there, but there's a lot of white people too. Some of them good white people, they put him up in there too. And then some of them, they put him up there because, hey, George Bush had the whole world ready to come after America, right? You know, so it was for various causes. You know what I'm saying? But right now there are so many black people moving into spots, moving into places, Latino people moving into places. You know, Asian Americans moving into places of political prowess. You know, doing things, to better our people or whatever. We cannot stop now. We cannot stop. You know, see, and when it comes to the masses, which includes all of us, we got to stop this separation crap. You understand? You know, Native American, Latino, or Latinx. You know, our brothers. From Asia or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We have to stop looking at ourselves as being separate, because that's what got us down in the first place. See, we're not the enemy with each other, even though we've been trained to think that way. And a lot of the people that have come here in the last 100 years have been told, stay away from the African Americans, because they're this, that, and the other. You know, you're better than them. Even the Africans have been told, stay away from the African American, because you're better than them. That's bull. We're all together, and we need to start living that way. You know, I tell you like this right here. It's like someone told me a long time ago. A fool is someone that continues to do the same thing and expect different results. A wise man is someone that learns from his mistakes. A genius is someone who watches the mistakes of others and learns from their mistakes. I say that to say that we have for a long time been like people running in a circle. You know, we have really denied ourselves a forward movement, because we refuse to participate, because for good reason. We've been tricked a whole lot, but it's just like, you can't give up, you can't give up. We can't afford to give up, for ourselves, for our ancestors that have died for us. They thought about us. And then for our own babies, that's coming up. We cannot give up, y'all. We must put forward the greatest fight that America has ever seen. We must forge forward. And it ain't all about the guns. There's a time and a place for everything. And what I'm talking about has very little to do with the bullets and the guns. Let me be clear about that. Has very little to do with the bullets and the guns, even though there is a place for them also. But what I'm talking about is us utilizing our most powerful weapon. Say the most dangerous and most feared being on the planet is an educated black man and woman. But it goes for all of us though. Native American, Latino, Asian, from all the different continents around this world that come here. There's a reason that you're here. There's a reason that we're here. There's a reason that we're here at this time. Trump, in some ways, I always try to look at the silver lining or the flip side of some things. See, sometimes people are put in place as with an agenda to tear things apart. But actually what they do is they bring people together. Because by them becoming the enemy of so many, we all have a common interest. And that is to destroy that enemy. To take on that enemy. And he's done us a favor. He's exposed the enemies that's been hiding so long, so well, tucked away where we couldn't even see them. Well, we know him now. We go to work with him. Once he lost this last election, you know how they was acting. You know how where we used to, hey, how you doing? What's going on? None of that going on. It's been silent. Some places it's still silence because they still want their boy back up in there. And anyone that wants that damn fool as the leader of this country, they hate black people. They hate people of color. Let me say it like that. They hate people of color because he's demonstrated he has no love. What did he do with the Latino brothers and sisters down in Puerto Rico? Threw paper towels at them like he was throwing trophies at a Super Bowl game or some, like, really? Paper towels? These people done lost their whole house. No electricity. No clean water. Cold. And this damn fool comes down there with paper towels. Yo. And then, hey, I'm not going to get too deep in it, but then some of them still voted for him. When a person shows you who he is, you need to pay attention. You know what I'm saying? You need to believe them when they tell you who they are, whether they say it through their mouth or through their behavior. They're telling you who they are. You know what I mean? Look, it ain't over for us, people of color. And I mean, our pale brothers and sisters as well. It ain't over for us. No. I mean, these people, these so-called white supremacists, they're in a mode of doomsday. And why? Because it is doomsday. For their kind, it is the end. The end is coming and it is near. Yeah, very near. It's about to show down. That type of energy cannot live and survive with the whole world that is full of love and a desire to love and a desire to help and a desire to lift up their brothers and sisters across color lines. That kind of a spirit cannot live much longer because this is a time of truth. It's a time of truth. And let me tell you, when it is time for a movement, there is not a force on earth that can stop it. All it takes is the right person with the right words to begin and igniting the spirit in all others that believe as he or she does that we deserve better. And that's it, point blank. We deserve better. For African Americans, it is way too late. You understand? I shouldn't say way too late. It's way overdue. For all others that come later or whatever, it's okay. It ain't about how much time you put in so much. It does matter. But it's not, a primary, stipulation or whatever, at this point. At this point, it's about us coming together. And it's about us showing love before these people. These racist crackers, figure out a way through the media, because the media hypes it all up. The media hypes it all up. You know what I'm saying? It's somewhere in the Bible where they say that, and I'm not into that all. I'm just speaking a little knowledge. I like to read, but somewhere in the Bible it says something about where, this dude Satan tells Jesus, or he tells God, he says that I will be in the main path of your man. He's telling God, I will be in the straight path of your gift to the universe, mankind, right? What is the straight path? The straight path is north, east, south, and west. These are straight paths. If you scramble those words, they spell north, east, west, south, which spells news. One of the greatest tools of the enemy today is news, because it's full of lies, full of deceit, yet it has the power to control the thinking, the decisions, the movement, and the actions of people, because we rely on it. It was it was never totally honest, but it was one of the things that we could rely on for truth about what was going on in the world, than anything else. You know what I mean? But today it is totally contaminated and tainted. You understand? With the agenda of the enemy. So I guess in ending, all I want to say is look, get out and vote. Not just for the president, but for every little vote, for the mayor, for the city school districts, people that think like you, people that you believe, and if you don't know who to vote for, talk to people. Talk to other people who knows politics, so that they can give you a brief description of what certain people are for. It ain't about being perfect with this thing, but it is about being on the right team. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to have the perfect agenda that's going to please everybody. But there's some basic things from a city school district that you want for your children. There's certain things you want from a mayor. There's certain things you want from a governor. There's certain things you want from a county legislator and on up the polls, you know what I'm saying? So put in your vote, you know what I mean? And as far as this here white supremacy thing, let's not be apologetic about it. Let's go at this thing. Let's stomp it. Let's destroy it. Walk up to it and slap taste right out of his mouth, because they do not belong here. They do not belong in the United States when they are separatists, when they are causing division, when they think that they can come here, take the land of the Native Americans with guns and violence. That's the thing that kills me about these people. They go out and kill a daggone lion or a rhinoceros or a big old elephant for their horn, and they brag about it, like they really went up at this thing with with their bare hands or something. You done killed something that could kill a building. You understand? That could take down a house. You understand? With enough for bullets or whatever. You kill the animal. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they kill me with the lies and the illusions and stuff like that there. But these people don't belong in this society. And I would say that they do not belong here. We always talk about let's go back to Africa. I ain't going to no. I want to go visit Africa. I want to even spend some time in Africa, but this is my land. Remember that song when we was kids? This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the blase, all that there. This is our land. That red, white, and blue flag, that's our flag. So next time we be marching, carry the red, black, and green. Carry the red, gold, and green. Carry the Latino flag and the Asian flag and whatever, but carry the American flag also, because that's our flag, especially African American people. I don't mean like we better than nobody else, but I'm talking about we built this here. We built this here. We the ones that really deserve to carry that flag more than they do. I don't give a damn who sold that flag up. They had a purpose back then. But right now, that flag is just as much ours as anybody else. So let's not leave that out. Let's not burn it. That's ours. Let's keep that flag because it's ours. This is the United States of America. And we have ownership in this here land. We just got to get up off our behinds, get up and get out and get it. You know what I'm saying? Take it back. Because it was never given to us anyway. You know what I mean? And that goes for Latinos. That goes for all the brothers and sisters. I hate to keep repeating myself. But that goes for the Latinos. That goes for the Asians. That goes for the Native Americans especially. It goes for us African Americans. All people of color. Including our pale white friends. You understand? I'm kind of stuck on that whole complexion thing because ain't nothing white about it. It's pink. You understand? And I ain't trying to say what it looked like, but it's pink. Alright? But anyway, it is not white. That's for damn sure. But anyway, our, pale complexion brothers and sisters is as well. Yes. Because we got love for y'all too. You know what I mean? We got love for y'all. That's another thing about my format. I'm open to everybody. I want everybody's opinion, and I'm going to get some people that ain't going to agree with me, and I don't care. You understand? I mean, I care about, getting my point across. I do respect, your thoughts, your beliefs, and different things like that, dear. But, if you're coming out the left and everything, cool. I'll read it. You know what I'm saying? But, let's do this thing. Let's do it. Let's not play anymore. It's time for games. It's all over. It's all over. Let's get serious. Let's really take it to them. Let's really show them. Let's really show them who we are. Because it's our time. When I say our time, I'm talking about all people of color. All people of color. It is our time, and let's not step on each other's feet. Stay calm with each other. Express love with each other. Don't get greedy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's some people been in line for the whole 400 years. Don't get greedy. You know what I'm saying? Don't start pushing people aside or whatever. It's enough for all of us here. More than enough. More than enough. And there's still a whole lot left for our pale brothers and sisters too. All right? And with that, I just want to say, please, comment, like, share, and I don't know if I'm forgetting some. Comment, like, share, and check me out the next time. All right. With love, peace, and respect. Signing off.